Imagine if a random stranger came up to you and asked you to put a giant billboard in your front yard. Think you'd agree? Probably not. Well, with the foot in the door technique, you might. Hi, thanks for tuning in to Everyday Persuasion. I'm Brendan Lupetin, a medical malpractice and personal injury lawyer who is obsessed with the power of persuasion and the impact it has on our everyday lives. Everyday Persuasion provides you quick, practical psychology tips to help you thrive in everyday life. Let's check it out. Don't feel obligated, but if you're new to the channel, please consider clicking the subscribe button below. That way you'll get updates about new videos I release in the future. The foot in the door technique works by first getting somebody to commit to doing something small, and then later following it up with a request for them to do something much bigger, an overall persuasion concept called consistency bias. Consistency bias is our tendency to continue to do and stay consistent with things or promises that we've made in the past. The scientists that figured out the power of the foot in the door technique started with the question, how can people be induced to do something that otherwise they would not want to do? The billboard experiment started with a control group, and what experimenters would do was that they would call people at their homes and ask them if they would put a 20 by 20, a huge billboard in their front yard that said, "I am for safe driving in the neighborhood." As you can imagine, pretty much nobody agreed to do that. What the experimenters then did in an experimental group was that first they called people and they asked them on the phone, "Are you for safe driving in your neighborhood?" And the people, for the most part, said yes. Then, with the foot in the door technique, the experimenters asked the group, would you then agree to put a small sticker in your window that says, "I am for safe driving in the neighborhood"? Almost everybody agreed to do that. About a week later, after that request had been made and the people had the sticker up in their window in their house, the experimenters called the people back and this time said the original request, would you agree to put a 20 by 20 billboard in your front yard that proclaims that you are for safe driving in the neighborhood? In this instance, they found a 50% increase in compliance rates. Think about that. Whereas nobody was agreeing to it, almost half of the people in the experimental study were now telling the experimenters, sure, which is really an amazing concept if you think about that was something that nobody wanted to do, and then by simply getting them to commit, getting their foot in the door with something small, now they're able to make people agree to these massive concessions and do something that's pretty ridiculous and pretty funny. In short, the foot in the door technique works. Ask for something small, then ask for something big. Get a small concession and then get a huge concession. It can be used all throughout our lives, and you need to watch out. A lot of times those little commitments that you're making to do that small thing that that person asked for can then lead to them asking for much bigger concessions, which psychologically you might be more prone to agree to when otherwise you wouldn't have been. If you have any comments or questions about this video, please consider dropping me a line in the comment box below. If you enjoyed the video and like to learn about some other videos in which I've talked about interesting psychology hacks, please check out the rest of my channel on Everyday Persuasion. I'm Brendan Lupetin. Thanks for watching.